All right. Welcome back to another episode of the JT Exchange podcast. Today I'm very fortunate to be joined by our associate head coach of cross country and track and field, Mr. Ryan Weir.
How are we doing today?
Doing all right. How about you?
Oh, I can't complain.
Good. We also are joined today by one of our men's team's captain, Cole Goodwin. Cole, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. Thanks. So we're going to take some time. We're going to, go over the last couple weeks, highlight this past weekend's meet and all. And then we're going to dive a little deeper into Cole's life and why he chose SU. And then we'll look forward to next week when we travel up to New York. So it's been a busy couple weeks. We moved back in on January 2nd. We hosted a high school meet that Saturday, January 3rd. Spent a week practicing and just kind of doing some team bonding stuff, activities like the Iron Chef Riverhawk, which sometimes is awesome and sometimes is a little scary, not knowing what we're going to get. But we also did something a little different this year with the talent show. I think it was a great way for the team to kind of get to know each other on a little deeper level, understand what skills some of our athletes have that you might not have thought of. Cole, what was one of your favorite performances from the talent show?
I had a lot of favorite performances, but some of just it's hard to narrow it down to just one favorite performance. I'd say some of the dances were pretty hilarious and kind of got everybody to break out of their shell a little bit and just have a good time.
Yeah. What about you, Coach Weir?
Kind of building off what Cole said, there are a lot of very good performances, a lot of talents that you don't really realize some of the kids have. But I think one that really stood out to me, I'm a sucker for, some violin. So I think anytime Kendall got up there with her violin, that was pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, our first year pole vaulter, Kendall Sims, she did a couple performances where she played the violin and one of her teammates played guitar as well. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. The one that won it, though, was it Carter and Ryan?
Yeah.
And all they did was make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it was gold, comedy gold. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So then we hosted another high school meet. It's good to get some of the local schools in here to be able to compete in our facilities, show them what we have. Our athletes do a lot. They have to work all the events and be the officials and rakers and all that stuff, but they do a really good job. Mm-hmm. And then this past weekend, we had our first meet of the year, the Riverhawk Invite on Saturday. A little bigger than years past. I think we had about 10 schools that were here. Turned out to be a pretty decent day overall, a little bit better than I thought originally after looking at the results. Some events, I think that really stand out. The women's mile, we had a ton of PRs in the women's mile. Just looking through it quick, I'm seeing nine or 10 women's milers that PR'd, plus a handful of men as well. Overall, we had 27 men's PRs, and we had 17 women's PRs on the day. And we've been training them pretty hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, we're getting after them in the weight room. We're not really taking it easy on the track. Mm-hmm. When we were back that first week, it was 2 sessions a day. But Coach Weir, what performance or any performances stuck out to you this past weekend?
So for my group, I would say probably one of the biggest performances that I saw that I was very happy for was Alyssa. She had a pretty big PR in the hurdles. She finally broke 10, and she was 0.03 of a second away from being on our top 10 all-time list. So that was pretty good to see. She's still got a lot of work to do. We're changing some stuff, but she's developing well. And it's always nice to see when you have those younger kids have those big improvements in their performances, especially from a more technical event. It's really nice to see those younger kids have that development, and then you go and talk to them about the race or the throw or whatever it happens to be, and you see them light up a little bit because they're having that. Coaches coming up telling them, things are clicking, you're doing a good job, all of those kind of things, and seeing their face light up, knowing that they're having that progress and all of the work they're putting in is really starting to pay off.
Yeah, I agree completely. What about you, Cole? Any performances, maybe throw specifically, that you think stood out?
One that stood out to me was Kieran throwing 14.65 in weight. That was very good as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And also Jeremy throwing 11.18 in shot. So Jeremy threw roughly 38 feet in high school, and the fact that he's now throwing 36.8 with a 16-pound implement rather than a 12-pound implement is very impressive.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Absolutely, and he's really been working hard. Kieran, he came over from football, so he joined us a little bit late. Shout out to Coach Delbs. He texted me right away and let me know that he thought that was a freshman record for the weight throw, and it was his first collegiate competition. So really excited to kind of see where he goes. A moment that stood out to me was actually with you, Cole. It was during the shot put, and the meet went a little later than we had thought it would. So basically, men's shot put was the last event going on. And Cole, you had come up to me, during prelims, and I kind of, was razzing you a little bit because you lost to Kieran in the weight throw.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
and at that point in the day, I'm tired. It's been a long couple weeks, and I basically said to you, like, well, I need to see some excitement. Like, show me something. Mm-hmm. And you definitely delivered.
Oh yeah.
You came out, got the whole crowd into it. I think, what was your first throw in finals? So was it your second throw in finals? You went over 15, or was it your first?
Yeah, 15.05 on the second throw.
Yeah, just got over 15, and I know you threw 15.20 earlier in the year, but you had been low, I think high 13s up until then.
Yes.
Yeah, so you improved a full meter in one throw, and then going into your last throw, you got the whole crowd into it. The excitement, the energy in the field house was awesome. Mm-hmm. And you uncorked a huge PR. Can you tell me what you felt as you're in the circle with your whole team there, literally the entire team there supporting you? What did you feel in that moment?
I would say, so throwing is there's a huge mental aspect to throwing. And the fact that I could have my whole team surrounding me kind of just took the stress off and really made the sport and the throw fun and enjoyable. So I guess I would describe it as de-stressing and supportive at the same time. So it just really empowered me to have a huge PR.
Yeah, and that was the last thing that happened that day, and I think it really set the team off on a high note. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to you with that throw. You did earn the landmark field athlete of the week. That paired with your place in the weight throw as well. But why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, where are you from? Like, how'd you end up at SU?
So my name is obviously Cole. I am from Milton, Pennsylvania, which is roughly 30 minutes away from campus. So I first heard about SU through my dad. My dad graduated from Susquehanna. He was a member of the football team here. And I also competed here in high school through track meets. After that, I decided to view Susquehanna as an option as a college to go to. And when I toured Susquehanna, it just felt almost like a home. Mm-hmm. I had Coach Klinchok, who was touring me around campus, and I got to meet all of you guys and the coaches along with professors. And it just felt like a great experience. The one-on-one talks that I got to have with the coaching staff and everybody else kind of led me to come here.
So what are you currently studying, and what do you think you want your career path to be, after you leave SU?
So I'm currently studying environmental science, and after I graduate, I plan on working for the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. So I've interned with them for the past 2 years now, and that has a similar home feel with the people surrounding me, which kind of makes work fun and not like work.
Yeah, it goes a long way when you have that family aspect.
Yeah, yep. And they also have a broad array of different things that I can do with my degree. So it kind of gives me the opportunity to view different options and kind of key in on what I want to do for the rest of my life. So
cool. Could you describe your track and field career here? Obviously, you've got a ton of accolades. You've won a few landmark championships as an individual. Definitely a bunch as a team. Describe your experience with the team and how it's evolved throughout your 4 years here.
So coming in freshman year, my experiences with the team were great, but I didn't have many people that I knew. But right off the bat, I had people coming up to me, talking to me all the time. So it kind of developed the family aspect that you have preached to me since freshman year. And every single year that I've been here, that family grew. And I got to talk to more people, meet new people, and just develop those connections that really last a lifetime. So
That's great, and that is something that we do preach a lot. Is it's not just about the X's and the O's and whatnot, and in the track meets and the performances. It's about establishing those relationships, because these are going to be your people. Some of your friends that you've met in college, they'll be at your wedding. They'll be at funerals down the road, and they're always going to be there to support you and just where you develop some of your best friends. So that's great to hear that that's an experience that you've had here. I know it's been great working with you. I know we're not done yet. We still got the rest of the year to go. But you have grown a lot, and it's been nice to see your leadership abilities grow, especially over these last 2 years as a captain. And we hope to continue that. You mentioned that there wasn't a lot of people. We grew that throws group a lot this year.
Yeah.
So we threw a lot of people at you this year, a lot of different personalities, and I think you've done a good job of managing those different personalities. Well, thanks for sharing that.
thank you.
This next weekend we are heading up to New York.
Yep.
As many of you know, I'm a New Yorker, Central New York, Western New York, but I've never been to this facility, Houghton. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere in, I guess, southern Western New York, if you want to call it that. Believe it or not, it is the Pagula Center was built by Kerry and the Pagula family of the Buffalo Bills, the owner of the Bills. So it's a little close to home for me, but from what I've been told, it's a great facility.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited to go up there. Not sure what to expect, I guess, from the group. It's the first time we're really going to enforce the strict travel roster.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through the week and kind of figure out who we think would be best to travel this weekend. But Coach Weir, do you have anyone in particular or any events you're looking for, I guess, solid performances from this coming week?
I would say I'm probably looking forward most to, I would say, our long sprint group in general. We got a couple guys back from studying abroad last couple weeks. So, working them through, kind of getting them back into the normal swing of things. Like you said, from what I've heard it's a pretty good facility. I've heard the radius is a little bit wider than ours. So I think that, our 2-4 guys should hopefully put down some pretty good marks at the meet.
Yeah, and Cole, do you have, you don't know who's going to travel, but yourself, personal goals this weekend? Like, do you have any distances that you want to see out of yourself?
Yeah, so I've been chasing the shot put record, which is 1576, so that is a goal for me. But ultimately, it's just my main goal is to develop those connections with teammates and just have a fun time with the whole team surrounding me.
Great, and I will give this as a coach's advice: the record will come.
Mm-hmm.
Just be patient; it'll come. And then for me, I know we didn't really long jump a lot of people last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of saved them for this week. I've heard that it's a great place to long jump, so we're excited to get after it there. I think it's going to be a great trip, up north, and I think I'm hopeful that we come back with a lot of great results and people are healthy. But Cole, I just want to thank you for joining us again. Coach Weir, as always, it's been a pleasure. Till next time, guys, thank you for everything, and this has been the JT Exchange Podcast. Have a great day.